Hey, looks like I'm live on YouTube. So listen, if you are watching this and it is not right now 9:21 a.m. Pacific time, then you are not watching the live show, which means you want to watch this one up here. Click here. And if I want to do that, nothing's there. It means we don't have it uploaded yet, so you can watch this one, in which case it's going to be a countdown clock up here in a moment. Just scrub forward to there. But if there's one there, that's the one you want to see. Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes. Looks to be about that time. Good morning, everybody. Greetings, salutations, howdy, and all that. We are actually almost ready to go. Go figure. Got my knife. Need the knife. So who's here today? We got a good number of people in the live stream. Say hello in the chat room if you're here. Hopefully I got the right chat room up. So Ryan wanted me to play the scene from 7, the what's in the box scene. But just the what's in the box, that's a little bit too dark. He's over there going, not the whole clip. It's too dark, man. That is one messed up scene. Very well done, though. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go watch it after the show. 7. That's a good movie. So while ago, Morgan Freeman. Go, man. All right. So we're ready to go. Hello, Wasi Samir. I don't think I've seen that name in here before. If I haven't, I've forgotten. I'm sorry, but thank you and welcome. We have, let's see, what is it? We got a minute left. It's funny, those mornings when I'm actually prepared and everything's ready, I kind of feel like I don't know what to do for these minutes. Usually I'm running around like a maniac at this point. Got a whole pile of stuff down here to open. It's going to be fun. We're going to have ourselves a good show. Let's see here. That's all set up. I got those in place. Yes, everything's ready. Hello from Romania. Hello, Florian in Romania. Greetings to you. Greetings. So, hey, for those of you watching live, don't forget, I'm giving away that bag. That beautiful brown bag back there. All you gotta do is comment on Monday's video to be entered into it. Hello in Knoxville. Donald, let's see here. Can I pull this up without, oops, wrong way. Let's do this, and yep, the clock is still up. Excellent. Now it's overlapping part of it, but that's okay. Hello in Knoxville, hello in Romania, and hello Wasi. Wasi, where are you calling in from? Always lovely to hear where people are ringing in from for today. We're just about ready. So yeah, don't forget about the contest. I'll remind people in the main show. Good morning, Tony Smith. Howdy, howdy. All right, look at that. Counting down to 0. Man, nailing this one. Nailing the timing. All right, that's ready. That's ready. What is that in my corner of my scene? Oh, it's my... So funny, it's like the camera's quite wide, and sometimes I'm like, what is that over there? Let's put it over there, get it out of the frame. There we go. All right. Let's have a show, shall we? We're ready? We're recording? Oh, we're not recording. Ryan, why don't you record? Recording is always a good thing. We kind of want to have the show recorded. All right, that's going. We're ready. Let's have a show. Today's show is a bunch of unboxing. I got a big pile of stuff sitting right here. A lot of it is 4.2 review. We're going to review it eventually. Let's just see what's inside. Greetings and salutations. Good morning and welcome to PhotoJoseph's Photo Moment, the first live 3 times a week show right here at youtube.com/PhotoJoseph every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, talking about all things photography, video, live streaming, and somehow, one way or another, related. Today, we are doing unboxings. I just got a pile of stuff here. So, as you have undoubtedly figured out by now, we're doing a lot of product reviews, first looks, things like that here on the show. I'm very aware, very conscious of the fact that we're doing a lot of that, and I don't want to make the show all about that, which is why I make a very conscious effort to insert shows that are about technique or things like the understanding crop factor and stuff like that, to make sure that we are getting enough proper education in there as well. But the fact remains that I do have a pile of stuff here that needs to be not only unboxed, but eventually shown and reviewed. So I'm going to do a mass unboxing today. There's like 4 different things I think we're going to open up today, and some of them you might have seen a little bit of before. We're going to take a look at what's in all these boxes, and then in future shows I will be doing proper reviews after I've used them and analyzed them, and I can give you my thoughts and all that good stuff. Today's show is not going to be broken out as a separate Q&A. We are going to integrate the Q&A, so as you are seeing things and have questions about them, pop them up there. As you well know, if you're watching live, all you're going to do is put @PhotoJoseph in front of it. It shows up right on my screen. I know that you've got a question, and we'll bring it up on the screen, and I will do my best to address it. So no separate Q&A. Don't wait for the end for the Q&A, because it ain't happening. Today, the Q&A is all integrated. So with that said, let's clear some space off of here, get rid of the iPad that I no longer need. And, oh, I forgot to do the top-down camera. Let me zoom that in real quick, because we're going to want a close-up view. There we go. Zoom down, top-up camera. Let's make sure that it's focused. And there we go, and there it is. Okay, so with that said, iPad away. First box is, now you remember I've done 2 Aputure videos so far. I did one on the little tiny LED light that I bought, which I loved. And then they saw that and sent me one of their smaller Amaran lights. So there's an Amaran series, this is a smaller one. Now, today we have the flagship Amaran light. This This is a big honkin' light, and it is so funky looking. It's almost just delicious in the sense of how cool it looks. So let's see what's inside. As you can see, I haven't actually opened this at all yet. Some of these have kind of opened already. This one I have not. And incidentally, I have 2 of them. I'm not going to unbox the second one, but that is the second big box that you may have seen in the thumbnail, because you kind of need 2 lights for a proper lighting setup. So that's what we're going to do. So first unboxing, here we go. What do we got? Ooh, that's a fancy box. Kind of a cool bag, actually. Neat. Okay, so you got a very nice bag reminiscent of the think tank bag that I reviewed the other day, opened the other day, which incidentally, don't forget, if you do want to win my old think tank bag, the Retrospective 7, because I've got the new Retrospective 7 version 2, I'm giving away my old version 1 bag. To enter to win that, all you have to do is comment on the video from Monday. We'll link to that right here. And you have 1 week, so a week from Monday, which is next Monday. Anyway, you've got it figured out. Watch that video, and you'll see how to enter. Okay, so there's the bag, right? Shoulder strap, exciting. Let's just dig on in. Nice little handle, nice padded handle there. Excellent. Very nice looking, right? It's a nice looking bag, actually. Let's see, is it a real buckle or is it, oh good, it's a kind of a false buckle. I like that. Open that up. Okay, another layer of protection in there. Zip that open. Open that up. And let's start with the little thing on top on here. Looks like the remote control. Yeah, so we've seen this remote control before. I have one right here for the other Aputure light. The cool thing about these remotes, remember you have multiple banks on there. So there's an A, B, and C, or channel 1, 2, 3, and A, B, and C lights on here. So you can control multiple lights from a single control, which is very nice. Looks like some tools for assembling and disassembling parts. Not quite sure what all, but that's in there. Let's see here. We'll save the light itself for last. There's a power cord. There is a, okay, this is part of the funky reflector diffuser something system, so we will take a look at that once I get the actual light out here. Cables galore. Let's see here, it looks like a power D-tap cable. There is a battery, excellent. I had the same thing to say about the other Amaran light from Aputure. They included 2 of these big ol' Sony NP batteries. This is the NP F960, F970 battery. That's awesome. These have a ton of power in them. Those are great, and I'm imagining, yep, there's 2 of those in here. Love, love, love that these come included. So many things you buy don't include the batteries, right? It's like Christmas morning, you're opening your toys, you're all excited, you open up, requires 15 AA batteries. And you're like, Mom, did you get the AA batteries? They're going, no. Yeah, I'm so glad that they include the batteries in these things. Ooh, a pouch. It's called the Easy Frost. The Easy Frost diffuser kit from Amaran. Sounds like a superhero. Easy Frost. Like the Bifrost. Just ignore me, it's okay. Let's see what's in here. It's like a small tent. What is all this? I have no idea what all this does. This may require some further investigation. There is a locking thing. Ooh, oh, okay. So that's a diffusion panel. All right, so you must build a basic tent out of these parts. No idea how this stuff works. Okay, here we go. Look, I'm figuring it out, Ma. So we put these in here. We are building a tent of sorts. Okay, that screws into something somewhere else. And then this much stretched over it, and this must be kind of a diffuser, or a, what do you call it, reflector panel around it, and then the diffusion thing on top of it. Interesting. That may require the further review because you really don't want to watch me figure out how to put all that together. Let's see what else is in here. We also have, oh, it's a battery plate. Okay, so this is some kind of battery holding plate adapter thing. Ooh, for the big, what are those batteries called? The big honkin', I forget what those are, but it looks like you can use multiple types of batteries. Excellent. No idea what that is. Oh, okay, standard light post, what do you call it? Light stand socket. There you go, hold that, boom, tilt, and swivel. And is that all the little stuff out of there? That is all the little stuff. Let's go for the big kahuna. Let's go for the light. Look at this thing. This is such a cool looking, almost Frankenstein-ish light, but I love, I mean, obviously I've seen pictures of this thing before. I love the way this thing looks. It is so cool. You have this massive heatsink. Look at the size of this heatsink here. Let's go for a close-up on this thing. Look at this. This is ridiculous. This is a huge, huge heatsink on here, which is great. Obviously, the whole point of a light like this is you don't want it making any noise. I mean, the whole point, one of the many points, you don't want to make it any noise. And by having a massive heatsink on there, you can avoid that. So, okay, I see what's happening. So we've got on here an AC adapter that is plugged into the side here, which you could then replace with, there we go, this cable, I'm pretty sure it's called a D-tap cable, into this plate, presumably, so you could have an extra other battery source. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so different type of battery, or there's a spot on there for the 2 Sony batteries. Excellent. All right, group and channel buttons, just like we saw on the other Aputure light, so you can program where it is, and then you've got a brightness and a power plug on there, and then, of course, a power switch on there. Excellent. Now, here's a funny thing. Look at the pattern on this. It's just like all weird, like all the... So look closely, and I didn't realize this. I've always seen pictures of it. I thought, why is that weird LED pattern? Like, why isn't it just a standard, grid? And I was looking at the picture. Ryan had it up on screen today, and I looked at the picture from across the room, and I finally saw it. And you can probably see it there. Do you see it? Can you see the pattern? You see the A? See the A in it? It's A for Aputure. At least I think that's the plan. It is such a bizarre, look at it. I mean, just so interestingly bizarre. Let's see if we can do let me do a top down, get a little bit closer view on here. There we go. Look at the pattern on there. It's so weird. And when you look at it closely, it's just a big mishmash. But then when you look at it from a bit of a distance, then you can see the A. Kind of neat, right? So, whatever. All right, so you got massive light. This thing is supposed to be super, super bright. I'm very excited to start to use this. Let's see here. We've also got in here, looks like I left a few things out, some stickers, some manuals, and this looks like, oh, a diffusion screen. Okay, there you go, with a nice protective bag to store that in. Superb. Well, this is beautiful. This is going to be fun to play with, and we'll see what we can do with a 2-light kit on there. So remember, we are doing Q&A as we go, so I see some questions coming up here. So let me just bring it up, and we'll hit these questions, and we'll do a Q&A between each product. That seems to make sense. Let's see here. SRI Digital says, ooh, another bag giveaway. Not another bag giveaway. Oh, unless you missed Monday's show, in which case, yes, this is another bag giveaway. So watch Monday's show. You'll understand. Tony says, does that light let you change the color temp or just the brightness? This is the fixed color temperature model. So let's actually pull this up on the computer here. Let's go to the right screen. So this is the Aputure Amaran Tri-8s. S is the daylight one, spot daylight LED light with V-mount battery plate. V-mount, that's the word I was looking for. So you can buy it either as a 5500K, which is what this is, or you can do for the color temperature variable one between 2300 and 6800K. Then, oh look, you can get different battery plates too, an Anton Bauer battery plate with it or the V-mount battery plate. So as I have said before, my personal preference is to get daylight balanced only, not to do the color temperature tunable ones, because you can, if you really need to change the color temperature, you can do it with gels. It's obviously easier to have the color temperature tunable. However, most LED panels, and I have not, because I don't have the bicolor one of these, I can't verify for this particular one, but most LED panels, the way they do bicolors, they have half the lights one color, half the lights another, and then you just are adjusting the brightness of one with the brightness of the other. So like one goes up, the other one goes down, which means to have maximum brightness, you have to be somewhere in the middle of the color temperature spectrum, whatever the extremes are. This might actually be different. Let's see, if I look at, it's kind of hard to tell here. If we look at the screen there, it looks like, well, it does look like there are different color LEDs, so that may be the case with this one. It may or may not be. I can't say for sure, and the only reason that I say that it's not always the case is because I do have a set of lights from Felix, and the Felix lights that are color temperature tunable, it is one massive LED that it itself changes color. There's not multiple bulbs that are blending in between. So with that one, you get maximum brightness all the way through the color spectrum. At least it's very, very close all the way through. I don't know how the Aputure bicolors work, but typically, at least on the lower end lights, and this is definitely not a lower end light, but on the lower end lights, you definitely find that you have 2 colors of LED bulbs on them, and you are just flipping between them. Hence my preference to go for a single color where you get maximum brightness. This is the single color one. But for the same price, you can do either the 2300 to 6800 or the 5500. So actually pretty close. So $488 for the solid. It looks like, was it $498? Yes, only $10 more to go for the bicolor. So that just depends on what you prefer, what's more important to you. But again, for me, I prefer the solid color. And that's the only question on there. So perfect. All right, let's, I didn't think this through very well, did I? Gotta get rid of all this so I can go for another box. Let's just start shoving it all in here and eventually find a place for it. So the pop-up tent thing is quite interesting. That'll be a interesting thing to figure out exactly how that works. But it looks like, if we look at, actually here, let's go back to here. You can see, here's a picture of what it looks like when it's all put together. It's definitely got a little bit of a Frankensteinish thing going on in there, but it works. It's just, I don't know, it's really cool looking. It's almost a bit kind of over the top, but I like it. I like it. And this is supposed to be a very, very intense light. It's supposed to be a lot of brightness out of this thing. So there we go. All right, I'm gonna not mess around with all this. Let's just put this off to the side and move on to the next thing, shall we? All right, next up, we're going to open something that has already been opened, but is still very, yep, that's right. Still very, very cool. So we did the Platypod Ultra before, the little mini Platypod. Love this thing. When I did the show, the Platypod folks were watching. They had, so I had originally got this one because it was in the gift bag out of Chicago, conference that I spoke at a few months ago. This is in the gift bag. I developed a relationship with them. They said, hey, if you want to show off our stuff, we'll send you some more stuff to show off. So I said, cool. And they sent out the Platypod Max. So this is the big one. It's a little side by side there. You can see it is a significantly larger piece of kit. So let's do it a little top down on here. So you can see the two side by side. That is a significant difference in size. This one is great for smaller, lighter cameras, micro four thirds. Stick this thing in your camera bag, take it everywhere you go. This is considerably larger, great for big, heavy DSLRs, or as you may have seen if you follow me on Instagram, I posted a picture of this thing with a big studio light, a big ProPhoto studio light mounted on it and sitting on the floor. It's great because it's so big. I thought when I put the studio light on there, I thought it was going to tilt over. I was going to have to adjust things, but no, it has enough width, whatever depth, size to it that it didn't. So this is really neat. Let me show you something cool about the way this thing works. Let's see here. Let's go for this close-up view here. So these are the feet. So remember on the little one, the feet come in a little pouch. On here, the feet are actually attached onto here, and this thing just pops off. There we go, snap that off. And then you've got the feet in here that you pull out, so your little spiked feet. And you may also recall we talked about when I showed off the little Platypod, which incidentally we'll link to that video up here, to the little Platypod. I made a point of saying that you don't have to use all 4 feet. And I think this is one of those things where people go, okay, this looks really cool, but it takes a long time to screw all 4 feet in there. Yes, it does. But in general, you don't need all 4. In fact, well, for one, you could just use it on its own, but also you could just put 1 screw in. So if I, for example, wanted to kind of tilt this thing up, I'm going to screw this guy in a little bit, get this 1 in there, get it in part way, whatever, and now I've got some angle to it, right? So now I've got a tilted platform, which may or may not be enough for what I'm trying to do. It just obviously depends on what you're doing here. That's, okay, I probably should have put it in the center one, but anyway, you get the idea. 1 post may be enough for what you're trying to do. If you're trying to stick it into a soggy, wet log in the middle of the forest, then maybe you want all 4 and you're gonna jam that thing in, spike it in there and hold it in place. But for many cases, you need 1 or 0 feet even to make it worthwhile. With that said, put that back on there. I like the way this thing attaches. That's quite cool. Snaps into place, and there you go. So basically, same idea as this, just bigger. Now you can buy this with the Platypod multi-accessory set, or this can come, you can buy it separately, or you can get it as a kit. But there's some really neat pieces in here. So here's what I dig about this. Okay, let's go through everything. There is a anti-slip mat. So I've actually used that on the show already. If I wanted to have this on the table so it can't slide around, it just comes with a mat to hold it in place. It's kind of nice. There is a pouch to hold all the goodies. There is the big old strap. So if you want to strap this thing to anything, tree, a table, whatever, you want to strap it, big old strap for that. But here's the really cool parts of it. These 2 pieces right here. So this is a riser and a post to go to a standard studio size post. The riser takes you from 3/8/16 to a 1/4 20 post. So you may recall when I was using this one, I said one of my complaints is the wrong word, one of my requests, things I would like to see, is this post on here is a 3/8/16 post, which is the studio size, which means I can't attach my camera to the bottom of this. Now granted, even if I could attach the camera to the bottom, this would be a little bit limited in how it kind of goes, because your camera would basically just be flat on the ground, and I don't know that you get much advantage, because at that point you may as well just set the camera on the ground. But sometimes you might want to. But what they've done here is they've given you a riser that attaches to this, and you can use it on either one, the big plate or the little one. Let's go ahead and put it on the big one. And now I do have a 1/4 20 here, so if I really wanted to put the camera on there, I could, and it is now risen up, what is that, like 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch or so up. But then you get this post with it. And the post, this is how I mounted the studio light, the ProPhoto. So this screws onto here. You gotta get it the right way. That screws onto there, and now I have a nice big post on here to mount a studio light. So for example, here's the Aputure post that studio bracket that just came, so let me put that on. There we go. We can lock that into place, and now I'd have a nice big solid platform to put a light on. So that's pretty cool. So I like that. I like that little accessory bit in there. I think that is really, really handy. And this post, by the way, does have, you saw that I tried to put it on backwards. It does have a 3/8/16 insert on this side, and you undo it, and it's got a 1/4-20 on that side. So quite a versatile little post, actually. Useful for all kinds of things. And then a bag to keep all that in. So there is the Platypod Max compared to the Platypod Ultra. And what I'm going to do with this is I plan on shooting, you know, in all the extra time, somewhere along the line, I plan on shooting a series of kind of scenes, like movie scenes, just scenes, shots, whatever, where using this, where it becomes necessary, if you will. So a simple, real classic example is inside the trunk of a car, right? You want to get a shot with the cameras in the car looking out, someone's opening the trunk. You want to have that camera stabilized down there. You obviously can't fit a tripod back there. This is perfect for that. So I'm going to shoot a bunch of scenes like that just to kind of put something together. I don't know when, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Okay, that's that. I don't see any new questions coming up. Remember, we're doing the Q&A as we go today, so if you have any questions about what you're seeing, make sure you put them up on screen on there. Before we move on from here, let me pull up the Platypod Max camera support with multi-accessory kit on B&H. You can see there's the price for the whole kit, $121.60. If you want it without the kit, if you just want the plate, which of course comes with the spikes, then that is $99. So you've got it there. You've got a ball head version. It includes a ball head. This is not a Aputure ball head, so this is quite possibly a B&H kind of exclusive thing they put together. I can't say for sure there whether it comes that way from the factory, but that is not a Platypod ball head. But then here it looks like, oh, there's other ball heads too, so you get a bigger one as well. And then the multi-accessory kit, and the accessory kit is, of course, from Platypod. All right, so there is everything there. Okay, next up is a simple one. Saving saving one of the most exciting ones for the end. This is a simple thing that I will be doing a kind of a combination review / tutorial talking about this little grip. This is a grip to hold your smartphone along with a microphone and a little LED light for doing smartphone kind of interviews. The videos that I've done 2 of them now. We'll link to the latest one up here on integrating a wireless microphone like I'm wearing right now with your smartphone is one of my most popular videos on YouTube. For some reason, everybody seems to want to do that. And so since putting the microphone together is only part of it, and you still kind of have this, how do I deal with all this stuff in my hands, I am going to use this as part of a kit to build that up and kind of evolve that whole process of putting a microphone, a wireless mic onto your iPhone. And I've got a lot of questions about doing dual microphones on there as well, so that might be how I do it. But anyway, this is a nice little kit. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. Let's do a top down on here so you can see what this looks like. Little top down, so you've got in here the handle with, okay, screws in, that must be, so that's gonna screw into there. Excellent. I don't know what these buttons do. That's probably, ooh, okay. Some kind of trigger, interesting. I wonder if that can actually control the camera. You got a small LED panel. There's the mount to hold the iPhone with. And somewhere in here, there's the microphone. And I guess in here, there is an arm as well. So you've got, this is kind of cool, actually. It's actually a pretty complete little kit. Okay, so you've got your handle. You've got the arm. So this is going to go onto the handle, extending out. Looks like the arm is possibly adjustable. Let's see here. No, not adjustable. Okay, so the arm is going to go on there somewhere like so. All right, excellent. That makes sense. This will go somewhere like so. This will go onto there. You've got a place to put the LED light that could go on top of this. Excellent. Yeah, so it's a nice little kit putting together there. You got colored gels for the lights. Excellent. A blue and an orange. You want to go to tungsten or full-on sunlight. Let's see what else is in here. You've also got, oh, well, now that's interesting. Oh, it's a male. Okay, so this is a TRS to TRRS adapter, but it's male. So I'm guessing here what that means is this is meant to go into your smartphone. This end probably goes into the controller. Maybe that's how it does the start-stop. I'm not actually totally sure what this button is supposed to do, but you have a button on here that does something. So, all right, cool. Well, that's interesting. If that can start-stop recording on a smartphone, at least on an iPhone, that could be a really cool thing. You've also got an Android cable in there. That could be a really interesting thing. I like that. You start something. That's cool. Okay, well, we'll see what it can do. Is there a lightning cable in there? I don't see a lightning cable, so yeah, so I guess you have to go through, I don't know. We will find out, won't we? So there's that little setup. Excellent. I kind of like it. And now because this microphone, who knows how good this microphone is or how good this light is, if I determine that the mic and the light really aren't any good, but that I like the handle itself, this does come as a variety of kits. So you can see this, what I have on screen right now, is the full kit. But then if we look through here, you'll see that you can buy it as just the handle. Handle. Oh, that's, okay, load. That's kind of cool. It's a wireless remote. Oh, very interesting. Oh, look at that. Huh. Okay, well now if that actually works with your iPhone, that becomes very clever indeed. I guess we will find out, won't we? Okay. Or so you can get it with a variety of setups. You can get it with, looks like the kit with the handle with the arm without the microphone. You can get a double handle kit. There's the full kit that I've got. There's the full kit, double handle. That's a bit over the top, it seems, but there you go. It's kind of funny. Look at this. The microphone is pointing forward. The light is pointing backwards. So this is so that you can, I'm not quite sure what the intention is there. You're interviewing yourself. Well, no, that's not right. You're talking and shooting somebody else. I guess that's what that setup is. With a front-facing camera, why would you do that? I just think the light's on backwards. I think they just put the light on backwards. That's marketing picture. What do you want? Okay, so there's that. Interesting. Well, this will be kind of fun. I'm definitely looking forward to using this. So this I will do a video on again, along with a kind of a combination integrating this with a potentially dual wireless microphone setup. Obviously, we will test the on-camera mic itself, and we'll see how all of that works. All right, cool. And now for the last thing. Any more comments? No new comments. Am I scrolling off? Nope, no new comments. Don't forget, guys, if you want to ask a question, get it in there now, because we're going to do the last piece, and then it's going to be it. This is extremely interesting. This is going to be one that a lot of you are going to be excited about, and definitely going to want to see what I have to say about it once I get some actual testing in. So you've got your display recorders from Atomos, right? So you've got your Atomos Ninja, which has a big screen on it. I think it's a 7-inch screen. I think is the dimensions. Yeah, 7-inch screen with recording capability built in. It's like $1,000. You've got the Ninja 5, a smaller 5-inch screen, also with recording capability built in. I actually don't know the price of that offhand. Less than $1,000, of course. Excellent product, excellent value. One of these days I'll get my hands on one. But then you have monitors only, right? And so you've got tiny small screens, small, Ryan, what's that company? Small screens. Anyway, there's this company, Small HD, Small HD. Small HD makes a small screen that is just a monitor. It's not a recorder, just a monitor. Very, very popular for those who want to have their DSLR, DSLM camera, but want to have a bigger screen. Still recording internally, you just want to have that bigger screen. They're not cheap. They're very good. I've played with them a bit. I don't own one. I've played with them at trade shows and talked to the company about them. Really nice, have some really nice features in them. Absolutely, I know they're very popular. I know that I've seen some great reviews on them online. Great product. A little bit higher end, a little bit higher price, but not recorder. Now there's something new on the market. This company has been making monitors, making the kind of screens I've been talking about just now for other companies for years. You've probably never heard of this company before. The company is called PortKeys. Let me just pull this up on their website over here. PortKeys, that's the name of the company, PortKeys. They've been making monitors for other companies for a long time. Now they're making their own. And so what they have sent to me is a kit that has a 5-inch screen, and I've already opened this, but I haven't turned it on. A 5-inch screen that is not a recorder, it is just a monitor. This 5-inch monitor has a battery port on the back. You can actually adapt it to different types of batteries. It is a 1080p screen, but with a 4K image pass-through. So you can feed it 4K, it'll down-res that to 1080 for the screen here, but then pass the 4K monitor signal through if you wanted to have an external recorder somehow. I don't really imagine too many use cases for that, but unless you're in, actually, here's one. Okay, if you're in a studio environment and you've got your camera set up and you're gonna run a long cable over to here and I'm monitoring from here, the camera's over there, and then this is gonna go off to another hard disk recorder, not one with a screen on it, just some kind of hard disk recorder. That could be useful. You've got a series of programmable buttons on the top to turn on various things. You can load in 3D LUTs into here. You can, so you can shoot in vlog and get a preview on this. It is a touchscreen. It has, and they neglected to ship this out to me. It was supposed to come, but it's not here. So I will hold off doing the testing until I get it. But there is something called the long arm that you can get with this. The long arm is a controller. As I understand it, as the product marketing says, have not yet tested it, you can control your camera, including the GH5, from this screen. To what degree you can control it remains to be seen, but you have control. Even if it's just start-stop recording from a remote location, camera's over there, I'm here with this, that is a fantastic thing. Recording internally, but to be able to control that from a distance is pretty awesome. It's very, very lightweight. I would say it almost feels cheap because it's so lightweight, but assuming that it's a good quality build, that it's good quality plastic, this is so lightweight that it is easy to attach this on top of your GH5 and not considerably add to the bulk of it. I don't have actual specs on the weight, but it is very, very light. To give you an idea of how light it is, when I first pulled it out of the box, it had a little sheet cover over the, protective cover over the screen. I didn't realize this was the screen. I set it aside. I'm looking through the box going, they forgot to send the screen. There's no monitor in here. And then I thought this was just a holder to hold the monitor because it's got a little sunshade on it. Like, okay, this is where you put the monitor to protect it. Then I realized, picked it back up, I go, oh, no, this is the monitor. Very, very lightweight. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, the best part of it is the price. The price, let's see, do I have it up on here? I don't. That's okay. It's only $250. $250 for the 5-inch screen. It'll be $299 for the 7-inch screen. These have, I believe, started shipping. They're only available right now via Amazon, via their store, or apparently they have an eBay store as well, but via Amazon. They're not yet on B&H, but they're going to be on B&H. Hopefully it'll be widely available by the time I actually do a full review on it. But right now we're looking at what is supposed to be a very high quality 1080p screen for your GH5, your Sony, your Canon, whatever you want to shoot with. Screen only, not recorder, allows you to control the camera from here for $249. That's pretty sweet. That is a really, really good price, and I'm very excited to see how good it really is. It has this little tiny sunshade around it, but it comes with this, a Velcro in additional sunshade. So you actually have to pull stickers off and kind of mount it in, but it goes inside of here, and you end up with a little sunshade on there, which is great because don't know how bright the screen is yet, but no matter how bright the screen is, if it's in the sun, it's always hard to see, so that's great to have that. And it comes with a battery adapter. So this is the battery adapter to standard Sony batteries. So this attaches onto here, and then you can put Sony batteries. As I said, different adapters here for different types of batteries, and then a power supply. The long arm, the piece that controls the camera, is not here. So I have reached out to them to say, guys, you kind of forgot to send that part, one of the most important parts of this thing. So I will wait to do a review until I get that in my hands. And I think that's everything I wanted to say about it. Let's take a quick look at the website. This is their website, so just a quick scroll down, make sure I haven't missed anything. 4K 3D LUT touchscreen monitor, talked about all of that. Shows what a LUT does. So there is what the long arm controller looks like. So this plugs into the dual HDMI ports and has a little HDMI in, out, and then some kind of controller. So that's pretty cool. As you can see there, start, stop recording. Looks like focus control even from the display there. So it should be very, very interesting to see how that works. Multi-touch panel, as it says, even pinch to zoom in for focus checking. 3D LUTs, you can load 3D LUTs via USB, and then there's your programmable buttons that we talked about. Little controls on there, sign up, that's funny. Adaptable battery plate, we talked about that. So there you go, all the different types of batteries you can adapt to. And then you can also get oh, that's nice, a little magnifier, viewfinder type thing. And then if you go down, there's a bunch of other accessories on here. This is really cool. So you can, with the right adapter, and I don't have this one, but you can control or power the camera via this battery. So you put a big, huge Sony battery on here, for example, and then this plugs in to a standard battery replacement, dummy battery, they're called. Right, so you slip this into your GH5, plug this into the back of the monitor, have a huge battery on there, and that can power both the monitor and the camera itself, which is quite cool. Anyway, we will link to all of this information down below, including where to buy it and their product page, so you can read all the info there because none of this stuff is on the Amazon page, and learn all about it. But I would certainly say that sit tight, let's see how the quality is, give me a little bit of time to work with it, and I'll come back and give you a full review. I'm very, very interested because I think the price is fantastic. And I do a lot of recording in the studio here where I have multiple cameras and I'm doing solo work, it's just me, and I've got multiple cameras set up. And so when I want to stop recording, I walk around and I start each camera. But it also means that I have to move a dummy, hence, where is she? Martha, Betty, whatever her name is, over there. Move her into place so I can focus, and it can be a problem. And I've done shots before where I'm out of focus because I didn't focus properly when I wasn't there, right? It's kind of a challenge. If I could have a bank of these at $250 each, I'm still recording in camera, but I could run and set up a bank of these right out of camera view of where I'm sitting, so I can look at it and go, okay, adjust focus, right, camera 1's in focus, right, camera 3's in focus, right, boom, 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 start recording on all of them. That to me is very, very interesting. I don't need to record on this, I just need to be able to see it at a distance and control the camera. I think that's really cool. So, very excited to play with this and give you guys a full-on, tell you what I think. All right, guys, that is everything I wanted to show. Is that everything? Yes, that is everything. That's everything we're going to unbox today. Nothing else in the chat room. That's interesting. Did the chat break, or are we offline? I don't know what's going on here. Well, I guess either everybody got kicked out or there's no more comments. So with that said, we are going to drop out of the show. Thank you very much for tuning in today. That was kind of fun. Friday's going to be an interesting day. Friday, I'm doing an interview. We're not going to do it live. I'm recording the interview off-site in the morning during the time of the normal show. There will be a show on Friday, though. It will be later in the afternoon. I don't know what time yet because it is going to be an unboxing of Apple Watch and iPhone 10, 10s, 10s Max, whatever the heck they are. I don't know what else is coming, but my guest that I'm interviewing is having his gear shipped here, and we will be doing an unboxing after our interview and once all that stuff arrives. So at some point on Friday, we'll do it. So make sure you're keeping an eye on the channel. Subscribe, hit that bell to get notified when new stuff gets posted. If you haven't already, follow on Twitter and all that good stuff, and we will certainly tell you about it then. All right, that's it. It's Tony saying he's been answering all the questions before we can ask them. Perfect, then I'm doing my job right. All right, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you Friday later on in the afternoon. Bye-bye.